plague of darkness sweeps across the land, controlled by a tyrannical Dark Lord. With the power to corrupt all but the most pure-hearted, the Dark Lord has overthrown the greatest kingdoms in the West. Now, the Dark Lord's army is on the march, empowered by the sorcery of his undead bride. You have come of age in the Dark Lord's empire. Oracles warn that this reign of darkness is just the beginning of the prophesied end times. But legends also say that from the humblest of beginnings, a hero will rise to save the world. So the time has come. Go forth, heed the call to adventure, and claim your destiny. Welcome to Solitary RPG. Today I'm going to do an actual playthrough for Call to Adventure Epic Origins. And my intro, I read the starting, chapter 1 introduction, the little story. And just the story alone is enough to write a whole role-playing adventure about. That's what I like about a lot of the information in this game, is that you can really pull a lot from this to create role-playing games. Anyways, so we've done the basics. So now we're going to go through the objective, which is confront the Dark Lord. Dark Lord. This is the art card. Has more information on the back, like we talked about in the previous videos, but this is the art card. I just pulled it out because I'm going to have it out on the table as I play, because it's a nice piece of art. But what we need to do is we need to take the rest of the cards that were in the chapter pack. Like I said before, during the other videos, I wrote down the cards that are specific to this pack. So that way, when I break this game down and go through the adventures again, I know which cards go where, because these cards that come with this will stay with the game. So you're kind of adding cards to the game as you play, giving you more options. The first card we're going to add is an Origins card. So this is where you begin as an adventurer. Whenever you attempt this special ability is whenever you attempt a strength or charisma path, gain an experience point. So it's a really cool card to have in this. So I've got all my sleeves that I pulled out, and what's good about this is all the cards have different backings, so you don't get things mixed up. So we'll add that card, we'll sleeve it. The other one is going to be your Destiny card. So we're only getting 2 new cards to add to our character development. Destiny cards in this game really give the special ability is at the end of the game for scoring points. If you're playing this as a game, if you're playing this for character development, there's no abilities or anything on the Destiny cards, but they're still really cool, and they give you some great narrative information to work with. And then we're going to have our adversary card. So now the way the game is played is after the end of Act 2, which we're going to get to when we get to setup and start playing. We're going to face the lower level adversary after Act 2. So this is probably the bride of the Dark Lord, just based on looks. So this is the first one. Then on the back side, we actually have the Dark Lord. So don't have this one sleeved because I don't have any clear sleeves with me. So I'll just leave that one out. And then we're going to add a new feat card to the adversary deck. And this is it. Now, feat cards in this new version of the game aren't always bad. Some are actually kind of good. So this one's not. But some of them are actually beneficial. But anyways, so we're going to sleeve that up and put that into the deck once we construct that. And that's pretty much it. Then we just want to go defeat the Dark Lord. One of the things, if you don't defeat the Dark Lord, it doesn't mean you've lost the game if you're playing the game portion of this, but it just means that you're going to face the Dark Lord again, and you still move on to chapter 2. So it's just a neat little feature. It's all about the story. Not necessarily about, you don't have to go back and replay till you defeat this one person before you move on. You just move on, and it actually just says that here. Whether you succeed or fail, open the next envelope. If you failed to defeat the Dark Lord, confront him once more in the future play session. But for now, the legendary beast cannot be ignored. So you just move on to the next one. And when you move on to the next one, you add more cards to your decks, your different decks, and continue playing. So anyways, so this is, we got everything set up. So the next part we're going to actually do is set up our player board and get everything started. So now I got the player board out. I've got the stack of my origin cards, character cards, destiny cards here, and over here I have my heritage cards. So the first thing you want to do is pick your heritage. What do you want to be? A half orc, a beast folk, gnome, bird folk, halfling, elf, dwarf, construct, half elf, and human. And every one of these has a little bit of different abilities that can trigger when you roll this special symbol on the runes. I think for this adventure, we're just going to go with a human because that is a simple one for a demonstration for a game. And it just works out the easiest for this. So now that I'm done, I can just put these cards away. I don't need to keep them out anymore. This game doesn't take up a lot of space on the table. I'm playing on my hobby desk where I paint all my miniatures and stuff. So it's not a table hog or anything like that. Next thing we're going to do is we want to choose our origin cards. Where'd we come from? This is our past. Just shuffle these up and just take the top two or however you want to get 2 cards out. That's all you're going to do. And then set the rest to the side. Here we're going to do, this is our character card. So this is going to give us special abilities, or we can pay for special abilities. It doesn't automatically give them to you. So we're just going to shuffle these up, pull 2, and then set them down. And all the cards that are left over just get set to the side. You don't need to keep them out unless you want to. That's up to you. I'm not one to tell you how to play your games. And then this is going to be our destiny cards. So again, the destiny cards just give you special win condition abilities for playing the game. No special abilities as far as strengths or anything like that. So now that we have all these, we're going to flip them all over. And you're going to now develop your character for the game. So you're going to pick what you're going to want to accomplish. So you saw me shuffle them and I actually got the 2 new cards already. So I can be a villager or a scout as far as where I came from, my upbringings, or just where I started the game from. I can be class-wise. I can be a druid or a cleric, and then I can do the chosen one or celebrated adventurer. So before you make those final decisions, you want to take a little bit of a look at your adversary and figure out, for this particular character or adversary, these are the 2 symbols, which are going to be, they're listed right here, Constitution and Charisma, that are going to help me defeat the adversary. So when I look at my origins, villager is the one that already gives me one of the symbols I'll need, which is, these are the runes you collect to play, to roll to defeat. Those are your dice. So this is a good one. And then whenever you attempt a strength or charisma path, gain an experience. So this actually has a really good benefit to me. So we're going to go with that. We're going to be a villager. So I started out in a village. So the other card just goes to the stack. Then here, these are going to be my class. So I can put experience points on these to get me bonuses. And this one, the druid, is the only one that really has a bonus that's going to help me defeat the adversary. And I have to put 4 experience on there. So this is going to be a hard one to get, because experience is hard to come by in this game. But I'm going to take it. I'm going to be a druid. So I'm a villager who's a druid. Put the other one back. And I will be the chosen one. So, because these are 2 cards are new to the game. So I want to, or for this chapter. So I want to go ahead and play with that. So now that I've chosen my character, I'm going to literally just put my cards away because I don't need them anymore. And now we need to set up everything else. So now we're going to set up our adversary. And all you got to do for your adversary is put them to the side. They're going to interact throughout the game, but you don't need to have them right in front of you. And you also want to make sure you put your Age of Darkness card out. And it's a double-sided card. I'm playing the simple quest right now, the adversary quest. So these abilities are for all adversaries, and then these abilities on their card are specific to this adversary. So all adversaries, you start with 5 experience points on the adversary for each player. So we're doing solo, so we're just going to put 5 on it. Whenever a hero fails a non-adversary challenge, it gains another experience. When I roll this symbol, the dark light symbol, I play a card from the adversary deck, and then when I go to combat the adversary, for every point over the score, which this one would be 6, for every point above that, I remove an experience point. And that's how you defeat your adversaries. You have to remove all the experience points from them. And your last, after Act 2, I have to beat that. So I need to be planning for that as we play. So we'll just put that there. We got the adversary deck, and we're going to add the new card to the adversary deck. And we just give these a light shuffle. There's not a lot of cards in this, but as I play through the campaign, we'll get more of these cards added to it. And then we're going to have our anti-hero cards. These are the dark cards, as I like to call them. But they're called the anti-hero cards. And then we're going to have the hero cards, the light cards, because they're lighter in color. Shuffle these up. And I get to pull one of these at the start of the game. So let's go ahead and get that now. I got Song of Rest. Choose a hero who faced a challenge this turn. They may gain, that's a light, a sun, or an experience point. So the solo rules say whenever it says choose a hero, since you're playing solo, you're choosing yourself. So that's how that card will work, and we'll just put that right there. And now I'm going to get my experience out so I can stock everybody up. Game comes with these nice little plastic experience gems. So as a character, I get 3 to start. And the adversary gets 5. So my goal is to try to remove as many of these as possible and not give them any more up till Act 2. And then after Act 2, I got to face the Dark Lord himself. And he's harder to beat. So I'm going to put these off to the side. Now, playing solo, we want to set up Act 1 to get everything going. And if you were playing in a group, you're going to want to probably set up Act 1 and 2 because once you pass Act 1 and you're done with Act 1, you can't go back to it. And so if someone goes a little bit faster, they're going to be in Act 2. Some people are still going to be in Act 1. But for solo play, you can just set it up one at a time. So you just lay 4 cards out. I had to widen my angles, so you're seeing a lot of my desk around, but we just lay the 4 cards out. And then we just put a stack of cards, the rest of the cards stacked to the side. The last thing to get set up are our runes, the dice mechanic that we're going to be rolling. We need to get the runes set up. They come in this nice tray, and when you pull the lid off, this is kind of neat. It's a neat little feature. These are all indented. You can put it off to the side, and you can kind of set some of your runes out that you're going to be using most often. So you get to start with the 3 white runes. 2 of them have 1 slash mark on one side, nothing on the other side. The other one, the 3rd one, has a slash mark, and then this is the special rune, dark light rune, that triggers your heritage ability, plus it triggers stuff for your adversaries. So you like to roll it, but you also sometimes don't like to roll it. And then we've got the dark runes, which are things you can buy these to roll, but they will have an effect on your corruption table here. So we're going to have them out. Hopefully we won't have to use them. And then you get these cool little tokens for marking your corruption. And then just set the rest of your ruins to the side for right now. And because we're starting, we're going to automatically, our origin card gives us 1 strength and 1 charisma. So you're going to grab your strength and charisma ruin. Now, on one side, this is a single hit. On the other side, this is a double hit. But there's a third one in with all these, which have these the symbols different on all of them. Some are triangles, and some are diamonds. And then you have these 3 little dots. You gain these once you get to your third statistic. So like I can only get this one if I get my 3rd charisma symbol. And that's as far as you can go. You can only have 3 of any one ruin. So just don't grab that the first time. So just there is a little different. And then just set them to the side so you kind of have everything a little bit organized off to the side. So that way when you're building your rune pool to get ready to roll, you kind of have everything laid out. So that's set up. That is everything you need to do to set up. After this, we can actually start playing. I had to reshoot the first turn of the game because I had some issues with my video quality I wasn't happy with. So I reset up everything. Good thing I had it on video so I know where everything's at. First thing we need to do is look at the type of cards. We have 2 types of cards. We have these cards over here that have these icons, which are known as challenge cards. These mean you have to roll your ruins to beat a certain number in order to beat the challenge. And then we also have trait cards. And trait cards you can just simply take and put underneath your character. On a trait card, you'll gain the ruin that's identified, and you may also trigger the special ability. For this particular card, the special ability would be when you gain this, gain an experience if you have this particular symbol, which is dexterity. I don't, but this is still a good card for my character because this would gain me that ruin. On a challenge card, you need to look at this number, which this is a 3, so the challenge number is 3. The only ruins you can add to your roll are intelligence runes and charisma runes. So if I wanted to take on this challenge, I would grab my charisma ruin and my 3 regular ruins. I can roll them to beat 3. For this bottom number, this one's a little bit more challenging. It's going to give it a +1, so now it would be a 4. So if I wanted to take on Rig the Game, I can roll intelligent ruins, charisma ruins, my regular ruins. If I wanted to, I could spend 1 experience point and add a dark ruin to the roll. And that would, I would need to get 4. And then once you've achieved this card, these ruins are now added to your pool, the ones that are indicated. And on this bottom one, Rig the Game, you would get a dark or an anti-hero card. So that is how you take cards off of the axe. So I'm going to edit this back in and move forward. But I am going to take this card because it's going to give me 1 Constitution rune. So I get to add that to my collection right there. And I had one of the wrong ruins in there. So this is one of those games where you got to pay close attention to everything because you're using symbols and sometimes I make mistakes. It happens. And the reason for that is my adversary. That's one of the symbols, one of the ruins I can use to beat my adversary. So as I'm building my character, I want to be thinking about that because in order for me to defeat this adversary, I got to beat the target number, which is 6, plus above that to remove any experience points that are on the adversary. We'll see how this grows and gets out of control real quick. So we're going to replace that card. Oh, win a drinking contest. This just got fun. So it's another Constitution, which will give me a 2nd Constitution if I win it. And it sounds like fun to win a drinking contest. So in order to win this, I need to beat 3, and I can only use Constitution ruins and my regular ruins to do it. So let's collect our ruins. So I have my Constitution ruin here. I get my 3 regular ones. I could spend an experience point to add a dark ruin to the pile. And that's about it. That's all I got to do. So in order for me to get 3, I've got a guarantee of 1 success already because the I guess we'll call them the characteristic ruins, like the Constitution, Strength, stuff like that. This is 1 success. This is 2 successes. So I've already got a guarantee of 1 success. So hopefully I can get 2 more successes rolling these. So we'll see. I'm not going to add a dark ruin. This should be a relatively simple task. As I say that, the dice gods will work against me. And no, I got the 3. So I met the threshold of what I needed to beat that. However, we can remove this because nothing happens with that. I rolled that. That is going to do a couple different things. First, it's going to trigger my heritage ability. So I can gain a light or dark card, or I can gain another experience point. I think this early on in the game, I want to get another experience point because I think I might want to unlock my character ability, which is going to give me an automatic constitution every time I roll. It just gives it to me automatically. But this triggers this, which is I play a card from the adversary deck. Now this ruined my day. Reveal this hero. The attempt of the challenge has a +1. So I rolled a 3, but now that stacks, and that means I failed the challenge. So now we discard this because that has been done. We did not win the drinking contest. Apparently, I'm not a good drinker, so I failed this challenge. So we discard that. Whenever a hero fails a non-adversary challenge, the adversary gains an experience. So now the adversary's at 6. She's getting stronger. And then every time I fail, I also gain an experience. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Next card. So this one's not good for me. So now I'm looking at my board, my layout here. My goal is to try to build my ruin pool to help me defeat the adversary. This probably is the only card in here that will help me because it has a charisma symbol on it, so I'll get to add another charisma rune. I got to rig a game. Would have been fun if I would have won the drinking contest and then rigged the game. But I need a 4 because I'm going for the bottom feature challenge, and it's already a 3, so I need to, and I can only use, I only have this 1 rune plus my normal runes to roll. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay and use a dark ruin. A dark ruin. So what's happens here is the moon is 2 successes, the slash is 1. But if you roll the moon side, you gain a corruption, so you move your tracker down. Plus your adversary gets stronger. It's good and it's bad. It's just evil. It's just evil decisions have to be made. All right, so all kinds of bad stuff is going to happen now. So we've succeeded. So we got the 4 that we needed to beat it. Already, I'm going down. And the adversary's now, she's got 7 experience on her. Plus, I'm triggering that. So we're going to have to pull this. Reveal this card. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Add a dark ruin to the attempt. So the reason it wants to add a dark ruin is because maybe I'll get some more corruption. I don't. So everything's good there. So nothing happens there. So I got 5. And now I need to decide, do I want more experience, or do I want to pull some more cards to help me out of any bad situations? Well, and this one's going to let me pull an anti-hero card. So let's just go with the experience for now. And then we'll pull the anti-hero card and see what we get. Hopefully we get something cool. So we rigged a game. So we put this underneath because I won the bottom challenge. Replace that card, draw my anti-hero card. Oh, love potion. Ah, this is fun. I'm gonna charm her. So basically, this is a special ability. Play this anytime a hero attempts a charisma check, which charisma is one of the abilities I need, or if I have any crowns in my path. So that's these little gray symbols. Now, if you're playing the game for points, collecting sets of these symbols give you additional points. I'm not playing for points. I'm playing to build a character backstory. So I'm not going to get too excited about that. But it does come in. It also is used when you're doing the 5th edition character creation. You use these symbols as well. But this is going to give me a +2 to the attempt. So I'm gonna keep that. So we're doing good. This is done. So I'm going to also gain a second um, charisma ruin. So now what do we got on our tableau here, our character? So this is a trait card. So when you gain this, gaining experience if you have at least one. So this would automatically gain me a point of experience, which isn't bad. And I'd be educated. So I'd be a villager who rigged a game, who's tough, who's educated. That could be kind of cool. But I can only have 3 cards on my acts or on my origins. Any of these can only have up to 3 cards. So I want to choose wisely. Do I feel comfortable, confident moving forward with what I have, or do I want to do anything? I'm going to press my luck, and um, I'm going to go ahead and journey. So basically, I'm going to get rid of a card and just replace it. Oh, perfect. And this is the perfect setup, I guess. Intimidating. When you gain this, gain experience if you have any strength. I do have strength, so I'll gain experience and I will gain the 3rd charisma ruin. So every ruin that you have for your stats here can only have 3. And the 3rd one is always the special one with the 3 dots, which that means 2 successes. And then each one might have one of these 3 different symbols on the back. This is the solid triangle, so I get to draw an anti-hero card if I roll that. So with that being said, I've got that. So now I'm feeling very confident moving on to Act 2 with what I've created so far. These get discarded because we're done with Act 1, so we can put all these cards away. We no longer need them on the board. And I'll get Act 2 out. So now at the end of Act 2, we got to face this adversary, and she's at 7 experience, plus she's at level 6. So basically, I'm going to need 13 to beat her on the rolls, or I need to try to figure out how to get some experience off of her. Now, there's a couple ways to get experience off of her. One of the easier ways is when I gain light, I can take experience off. And I do have a card that will let me gain 1 experience or 1 light to do that. So let's get our Act 2 out. Oh my gosh. Lots of cool cards. Look at that big old giant. Okay. So right now I don't have a lot to do. I've got all my runes collected over here. I've got some experience. So I like this card right off the back. First of all, it's a trait card. I don't have to do anything to get it. And it's going to give me another constitution, which is what I need to try to beat the adversary. Plus, when you gain this, you gain light, which will take off 1 experience point from the adversary. So this was a good card to get right off the bat. And there's my ruin. So, and then we get to replace that card with the loss of a loved one, which would give me another one, or I could go with this one, which is rescue a prisoner. So folk hero rescuing a prisoner would actually tie into a cool little story. Plus this gives me a light hero card for trying to succeed. Plus, that's it. That's all I would gain for that. So, and then I can also, when I'm faced with a challenge, I can play this card, Song of Rest. When I'm faced with a challenge, I can gain a light or another experience point. So I think what I'm going to do is that's a 5 to win. I'm only going to get these two. So now we got to look at numbers. Like, can I do this? So I got those and I got these. That's the only ruins I have. So we have a guarantee of 2 successes just because of those ruins. So that means I would have to get 3 more successes. So I'd either have to get some 2 points or that, or I can play a dark ruin again if I so desired. Am I that crazy? Do I really want to play another dark ruin and take a chance of strengthening her more, or do I want to just roll the dice and see what happens? If I fail, she gets stronger anyways. Oh, these are the tough choices that you have to play in Call to Adventure. Or I could tone down a little bit. We also have here where I can get an experience. If I put my 4 experience on here, that will unlock the character traits on the character card, which gives me a +1 constitution every time I roll ruins. So that's actually a good call. So I got a +3 now. I've got to get 5. That means I need 2 more successes. I think I can do this without having to go to the dark side. So we shake them up and we roll. Oh, perfect. So 4, 5, 6. Nothing bad's going to happen. We are just going to succeed at that. So we put this stuff to the side. We rescued a prisoner. And we get the 3rd Constitution Ruin, which ends the set of Constitution Ruins. So it doesn't really benefit me a lot to keep trying to go for those cards. And I gain another card. Teamwork. Choose a hero attempting strength, intelligence, or wisdom path. If it's your turn, gain +1 to your attempt. If it is another hero's turn, gain +2. We'll see. I don't know if I need that or not. All right. And that was all I got. I don't get any of my special abilities. I didn't trigger anything. We're done. So we pull another card. So this is another Freedom Fighter. Oh, this is awesome. When you gain this, gain 2 or choose another hero to gain 1. So we're going to end Act 2 now because this is going to be big because that's an awesome card. None of these cards are going to benefit me because I'm maxed out on all of my constitution. I'm not collecting any wisdoms, so I'm not going to try. So we're just going to go ahead and claim this card. And when I gain it, put it in my past because I'm a freedom fighter. I gain 2, which takes 2 off of the adversary, which weakens her a little bit. And that's, it's still a game, even though we're creating a background story for our character. It's still just part of the game. Now, see how quickly I went through round 2? Like, I only pulled 1, 2 cards, and I was done. So, some of these rounds aren't going to last long because sometimes the cards work in your favor. Imagine that. So now, before we set up Act 3, we need to beat the adversary. So she's at 6, plus I got to take off one of these, and I take these off by going above and beyond the 6. So technically I need a 10. So we're going to have for our ruins, we've got the 3 charisma ruins. We got the 3 constitution ruins. We have our 3 regular ruins. I have no experience left, so I can't add any dark ruins to my pile because I had to spend it here. But I get a bonus already, though, for Constitution because I got my experience here. So this is what I really love about this new setup. These bonuses on your characters here. So let's roll the bone. All right, so what do we get? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got the 13. I'm sorry, I was having fun with that. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got 13. We beat the adversary. We got no bad stuff, no bad juju here. Everything went fine. So the adversary has been beaten because she was a 6 plus the 4 was a 10. We succeeded. But now comes the Dark Lord. He's an 8. Same characteristics to beat him. But now he's an 8. So we go ahead and we reset. We put the 5 on. If you want to go crazy, you can play hard mode. Hard mode adds another one, which would give you another 3 experience onto that, on your final adversary. If you're crazy, you could do that. I'm not crazy, so I'm not doing that. So yeah, so let's put everything away, get our little piles put away. So we got everything kind of nicely situated, and let's pull out Act 3. So here's Act 3. Not a lot of cards in Act 3. So let's see what happens here. So now the cards get really hard. Everything's ramping up. All like this is a base of 7, 6, 6, and a dragon disciple. I just like the way that sounds. So I cannot do nothing. I'm going to be able to do is going to give me any more strength in ruins. So if I was playing for points, I would start collecting sets, but now I want to start looking at special abilities. So when you gain this, if you have played at least 2 dark ruins, you can, in this game, gain 2 experience. If you have 2 moons, gain a sunlight. Not going to help me. None of this stuff is going to help me. So what can we do to kind of keep moving forward? So I can look at my narrative story. I could hire a killer. I can command a dragon. I want to command a dragon. I think that would just be fun to add to my story. And I like it. Or I could defeat a dragon, but that would take strength. And I only have 1 strength ruin. And I'd have to get a 7 because it's a +1. Ain't going to happen. So let's go ahead and try to, because it's going to give me an anti-hero card, which I like. And none of my special abilities matter at this point. So I didn't even have to use the love potion yet. We may have to do a little lovey-dovey on the Dark Lord to get that to happen. And I ramped up all of my sons, so I'm good there. So let's see. We got this is what we'd have right now to roll. I can't do anything else. I can't journey. I'm kind of stuck at this point. So, and that is the hire a killer, or ooh, do I have anything else? No, I have nothing. Well, so I have a better chance of getting this one than this one. And the reason for that is because this has a wisdom icon, and I've got my runes here. I believe these stack. So this gives, let me double check that. Rules break. I need to double check that to make sure those stack. So these abilities stack. I just checked the rules. So I actually have a better chance of getting the hiring a killer. Even though the card itself isn't going to give me a whole lot. It's really all I have to do. So it's just my chances of success are better there. And I don't want to lose, right? I don't want to lose any of my challenges because I just make my adversary stronger when I do. Even though I feel I'm pretty strongly equipped. Plus, I can also, choose a hero attempting a strength, intelligence, or wisdom path. If it's your turn, gain +1 to your attempt. If it is another person's turn, gain +2. So I can actually play teamwork, which I'm going to do, which is going to give me a +1. So now I'm at +2 to that, plus all the ruins that I have to roll. So that gives me 2, 4, 5, 6. Take this out, it does nothing. 7, 8. So I beat it. However, we triggered that. So that's going to trigger my heritage ability, which I'm going to take the experience because I need that right now. But it's also going to trigger the adversary deck. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Ignore the hero's class powers until the end of turn. So this is my class. I lose that. However, I still beat I got 4, 5, 6. So I still beat the challenge with this bonus. I just lost that bonus. So bad adversary deck. So we did succeed. We're just going to put all the ruins to the side. We're going to hire a killer because we're just that kind of people. And then I'll put this card behind, showing that it's... You want to make sure you save your hero card, anti-hero cards, because they're worth points. I just kind of tuck them behind the row because I want to make sure I still see them. I don't want to push them off to the side because some of the cards will let you pull and play cards that have already been played. So I leave them out. So that was the first card on our guy. And now we've got a craft a super weapon. Oh boy, that could be fun. So what can we do here that would be something that would benefit us in some way, shape, or form? I have one card, one experience. I could journey because I'm at that stump point where I don't have a lot to pull from to get me excited to do anything like this. I have no chance of ever getting that. So I'm going to go ahead and journey, which means I discard that card and I pull another card. A necromancer. So I hired so I'm the chosen one. I hired a killer. That killer happened to be a necromancer. Story wise, this adds some flavor. When you gain this, choose a dark anti-hero that another player has played and put it in your hand. So as I was just talking about saving the card, this is why you do that. You want to keep them available. I haven't played any anti-hero cards. I have only the one. It's going to not do a whole lot for me. It is going to give me another ruin. It's going to give me a little bit of intelligence because I had to hire a necromancer. so that adds to my story. And then what do we got here? Lore Master. I have a good chance of... Oh, I could just take Lore Master. When you gain this, if you have at least 3 different story icons gained to experience. I have... How many different icons do I have? So when it's talking about icons, it's talking about your little symbols here. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I have the 3 different symbols to gain the 2 experience. Experience gets cashed in for points if you're playing for points. So this wouldn't be a bad card. I would become a lore master. As a druid, that could be kind of cool story-wise. When I create my character. Yeah, we'll just take it. So this way I can kind of wrap up the video so I'm not taking too long. So we gain 2 experience. So now we got to face the adversary. So the end of the round, everything's done. So we can pack up round 3, act 3. These cards are done for. And we've got to build our rune pool to beat this adversary. So we have our 3 charisma and constitution and our regular ruins. And a ruin got mixed in with all the other ruins, which is ruining everything. So this is what we have. Now, when you're rolling against the adversary, if I add in dark ruins or if I get this sim, all those things still trigger and you still have to beat your number. His base number's 8 and he has 5 experience tokens on him. I need 13 for success. So we know we have a guarantee of 4 from basically the 2-sided ruins. These, we don't know what's going to happen. I get a +1 here. because that's what I have, and I probably should have another experience. Again, got to remember what your cards say. If you don't remember, you lose out. So I probably should have gained an experience. This is all new stuff compared to the old games that I played. So some me still learning is important. I have love potion, which is going to give me a +2 because it is a charisma check, and that's what love potion's about. So I got a guarantee of 6 right there. Just without rolling anything, I've got a guarantee of 6. So what I'm thinking is I need to get 7 successes above this right now. And I have one other thing here, so that's 7. That's it. So now I need 6 successes, or I need some doubles and some other things. So what I'm debating right now is do I want to add a dark ruin to the pool? I could add 2 if I really wanted to. But I think 1 would be enough. I'll take my chances of doing 1. If I get the moon, yes, it's gonna take me down. But I'm already at 8. I'm at the max. I can't even play. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Oh, bad news! Bad news! I don't get this because I am in the light. I cannot play anti-hero cards right now. So yeah, that sucks. So that's why you got the toe side, so you can remember. Um, so I'm back to where I started. I've got 4. I got a guarantee of 5 successes. I need 8 more. I got 6 successes. So yeah, these are the breaks. Let's see what happens. Let's roll some runes. Okay, now this is a good. So I didn't get the moon. I'm happy. Not going to trigger anything here. So 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is what I needed to beat the Dark Lord. That is what I got. I'm super excited about that. And that would end chapter 1 of Epic Origins. So that was the game. I really like how the new solo rules work for Call to Adventure, especially with the adversary deck. In the previous games, the adversary deck was pre-constructed for Call to Adventure, and they were pretty hard cards, and I didn't like how it worked as much. It was still a fun game. I still had a good time playing it, but I like how they changed it. Really made the game a lot better, and it feels like they made it for solo play. Like you're not changing anything else. Only thing you change in solo play is how you read some of the cards. When it says choose a hero, you're choosing yourself. I like that. This was a good example of the gameplay. So now what I get to do is I get to remember all these cards. So I can then take this information and work with the PDF to create a 5th edition character. And then I get to use all of these accomplishments that I got to kind of draft out my character story. So I'm a human druid. That's my class. But I started in a small village. It was a hard life. I became, living a hard life. I became tough and intimidating. And it wasn't and I rigged the game of life. So I'm cheating the game of life. Maybe that's how I'm gonna say rig the game. I'm not gonna say like an actual game, but like the game of life of just living. I've learned how to rig it for my advantage. Being a druid was part of that. I rescued a prisoner, and I became a folk hero, and then I turned to becoming a freedom fighter, and I was the chosen one that hired a killer necromancer to take out my arch enemy, and I became a lore master to beat the Dark Lord. That's the kind of stuff you can draft together just playing these games. You get all these keywords, and as solo gamers, solo RPG gamers, we're used to taking a few words and drafting a story just using those few words. And this is a great game to do that, especially if you just enjoy creating character backstories, which I do. I love playing this game for that sole purpose. And that's how the new version of the game works. Did I make mistakes? Probably. I'll catch them in edit. If I catch anything in edit, I'll say something. I screwed up there, or I screwed up there. I know I forgot to do my origin trait a few times. Where if I played it, if I was going against an attempt against strength or charisma, I should have gained experience, which might have helped me a little bit. But I'm happy with how my story turned out. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.